What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Multiverse Podcast, episode 8. I'm one of your hosts, Warren. My co-host, Jimmy, on this side.
What's up on our road to 21?
On the road to 21. We're gonna say it every time,
which makes it
get there.
A
habit.
Yes.
And of course, the man. Behind the curtain, or what?
We've been calling him the voice behind the curtain. I kind of want to change it up, though. I don't know if I like it. The goat. The goat.
Wes.
Yeah, the goat that is behind the curtain.
What's up, everybody?
One day, we're all going to see one day.
One day.
One of these days.
Comment if you want to see Wes. Comment if you want to see
massive face reveal when we go rent out a movie theater.
Oh, that's what it is. Right.
For
Doomsday? For Doomsday, right?
Doomsday, yeah.
No, for Doomsday. We're doing for both.
Yeah, Doomsday, and then it goes so well, and we have such a good time with everybody that we go back to back to back.
Boom, boom.
So we're 90.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good segue into our first topic today because it's a Marvel topic. Pretty big right now, Null. And the fact, I can't say the fact, but the rumors that everyone's been talking about, Null and Venom going over to the MCU for Spider-Man 4. So it's Spider-Man and Venom versus Null, essentially. And I would assume, you would have to assume that at some point, if that does happen, Venom does fight Spider-Man, right? Can you put them in the same movie, in the same universe, and not have them fight at least a little bit in the beginning?
So here's the wrench that gets thrown into that. And I know Daniel RPK is the one that popped that out there about Andy Serkis and him being Null. But Tom Hardy has gone on record, and I know people lie, but he definitively said he's done playing Venom after this movie. There was no wordplay. There was no ha ha ha. I don't know what you ha ha ha. Andrew Garfielding it. He definitively said, "I am done playing Venom. Me and the big guy are done."
Did he say that he's done playing Venom, or this is the last Venom film?
He said he is done playing Venom. I just read it like an hour ago.
I'm gonna say so. Here's the deal, though, because he also said before, and granted, we don't know what we don't know what Venom 3: The Last Dance is gonna be like. We don't know if Spider-Man's gonna be in it,
right?
But one thing he did say before, and this is an interview you can find online, he 100% said this. He was like, "Yeah, so if we're in the Olympics, Spider-Man is the gold medal. That's what he wants to do in the third movie." I haven't really heard anything from any insiders or anything like that stating Spider-Man's going to be in the film. So he may have said that before, but if in his own words, they're in the Olympics, Spider-Man's the gold medal, well, that gold medal's Spider-Man 4. And he's doing that based on what he said.
Either he's lying or we're getting another variant of Venom or we just get black suit Spider-Man.
See, I think he goes to the MCU because why continue Null's story with
if you don't have Venom?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think all three Spider-Man characters and Venom makes for just a bombastic movie against Null.
It really does. Well, today, My Time to Shine Hello said Andrew Garfield is returning for at least 2 more Spider-Man, not Spider-Man specific movies, but for at least 2 more movies.
We know he's going to be in Secret Wars.
You obviously, right? And my other thought right away
Spider-Man 4?
Spider-Man 4. Well, because My Time to Shine Hello also stated a while ago, don't know how long ago, but a while ago, that Toby and Andrew would be in the next one as well.
But aren't we possibly getting Secret Wars split into 2?
So that is something that I think, just based off of the Disney slate that they gave us, there was Secret Wars, and then there was another untitled Marvel movie after Secret Wars. So unless they're already revealing Phase 7,
right,
then that's a part 2 to me.
I don't think they are. I think all roads lead to, for the fans, having Tom, Andrew, Toby, and Tom all together against Null and Spider-Man 4. I think that would be. I hope it's true. Andy Serkis is a huge win. Huge win.
Oh, for sure.
Great casting. It's going to be phenomenal.
He's used to mocap.
It's not Daryl Dixon. Everybody, you remember right when the trailer dropped and there was people saying everywhere that it was Daryl Dixon?
No. It was
Walking Dead guy.
Walking Dead guy. Yeah.
Daryl Dixon. That's his name. Isn't that his name in Walking Dead?
Gotcha. Oh,
yeah. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
Okay. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Norman
Norman
Reedus.
Reedus, yeah.
Norman Reedus,
Norman
Daryl
Reedus.
Dixon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Death
so
Stranding,
confused.
Norman Fetus.
Yeah, Death Stranding, the guy that carries the little baby around in the tube.
And Norman Fetus.
Norman
Oh,
Fetus.
no.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think it's a massive win with Andy. I've got to get to this next one because I so in my bones don't want this to be true.
Oh, I know what we're talking about.
And
Go. Pop off, Queen.
so I know this was put out a while back and it got regurgitated yesterday, but it got ran through again by multiple people. So a while back there was the rumors, the fan castings about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson coming to the MCU, which it didn't just start with that. They've been talking about that for years.
They said he was gonna. I think he was like, he'll play Century or something at first.
Yeah, something
that. Right after Endgame, they were talking about it. I remember.
And then it stuck with, or he got stuck on Apocalypse. So that was reported 4 or 5 months ago. But yesterday, I believe, or the day before, My Time to Shine put a picture of him and made a post about it. But what got me, not necessarily My Time to Shine putting it, that track record is up and down. I mean, I know there's some big hits on that list, but up and down. But the fact that Daniel RPK joined in and kind of rammed it home and said the hierarchy of the MCU is about to change. Was he trolling? Was he joking? I don't know.
I was going to say, was it a joke?
But when he doesn't state that it's a joke or put in any manner that it is, he has to assume
it adds fuel to it.
With his kind of presence on what he does that people are going to take it and run with it. So the big question is there a spot for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the MCU? And if so, what character is that? And I will start off by saying I love The Rock. I love the energy that he brings. I love all his movies. I love it when they're funny. Cool I like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I liked him when he was the wrestler. I liked it all. I am scared to death for them to let him even come near the MCU. Because let's be honest with each other. He was trying to take over and do whatever he thought was best for the DC, which was channeled through Black Adam.
I mean, how many did you hear the hierarchy of DC power is about to change?
Yeah.
I mean, you heard it so much.
Here's the problem. I feel like over there as Black Adam, he was really pitching to become the hierarchy of the DC, right? Sure. And in terms of actors and actresses and everything. And you could say, if you made out a list, he's up there. He could be top. You could say he's above Henry Cavill or Gal or famous. All of them. Yeah. That's not the case if he comes over here. There's a lot of big names that have a lot more tenure than he does when it comes to this Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I feel like if he came in with that thought process, oh, I'm going to be Apocalypse and you think Doomsday's bad or whatever, you know how he is. Right. I think it would sour. I don't think it would work. Could I see him as Apocalypse and without all the drama and the baggage? Yeah, I could. I thought he looked great as Black Adam. I mean, I thought
I actually liked Black Adam. Yeah, I actually liked Black Adam.
No, it wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a good movie.
I didn't say it was a great movie. I liked it though.
When the boys doing his speech to rally the people and he's talking
That's
monotone,
so bad. It's so bad. It's
like
so
really
bad. No. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a great movie, but I'm saying but to be fair, and I love The Rock, I knew it wasn't going to be going into it. Right. So I was able to enjoy it a little bit more, right? Because I knew it. But I actually did a review on that. We can channel back through my channel, years and find it. But I said that specific thing. I was like, that was terrible. I was like, how did the director? Yeah. And I was like, no offense to the kid, right? But I was like, how did you not either direct him better or get somebody better? But anyways, moving on from that, right?
Do you think he has a place in the MCU?
So there is a lot of validity to what you are saying. The Rock sells things, right? Mm-hmm. The Rock can't. I don't think it's in him because I think he's like 100% balls to the wall type of guy. I don't think he's casually kind of trying to push some things, which can like bulldoze a lot of people.
He has that alpha bulldozing mentality. Too.
Totally. And he is like, by all means, he is an alpha male. Like he is an alpha, right? He just is. And the thing is I don't know if he could dial that back for Marvel because I believe what you're saying is accurate. He can't do that for Marvel. And even coming off of Doom, like, I mean, it's gonna be Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom. That's huge, right?
Mhm.
And I believe Doom is sticking around after, not Robert Downey Jr.'s, but Doom. So the thing is kind of like, is there a place for him? Yes, if he could kind of put the Rock persona aside.
I
Like,
agree.
could he play Apocalypse? Yes.
He
Does he
could.
have like the stature for it?
Yeah.
Yes. But there is, I don't remember the term. Like, there's like the rockification
I know.
of
I know what you're saying.
characters to where it's just like it's kind of just him. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Could he play Apocalypse? Is my weird question, to where not can he be in the MCU and his character is Apocalypse, but he's kind of just the Rock. No, could he actually play the character?
Could
I think
he?
he could if he put that stuff aside. Like
It's
if
not
he
only that. Could he humble himself? Because
well,
with the
that's what it
DC in the
is.
movie
Right.
he's in, when he's on screen, he's the presence.
Right.
He's what the screen is pulling towards. That's not the case. When Thor's on the screen, Thor is the presence. When Doctor
Right.
Strange is there, when Spider-Man's there, any one of the Spider-Men, when Robert Downey Jr. is there. And I don't know if he could accept that. Being a
I
role
think, you know
player
what? I
like
think he
that.
could, because
I
I
don't know.
think as much as an alpha as he is, and we talked about this in a few podcasts, like how grounded are these rich celebrities, right? In terms of real life, how grounded are they actually?
Right.
I've seen a lot of stuff with The Rock is like really chill with people, right? But when it comes to like business and his career and everything, like, dude, that dude works so hard.
I agree.
He's
I
balls to
agree.
the
I
wall.
agree.
But what I'm getting at is I think really, if anybody could say, hey, I need you to do this, it's Kevin Feige. Because Kevin Feige, he is the president of Marvel Studios. That's his baby. He calls the shots. And I think,
There was presidents and shot callers at DC too, buddy.
yeah, but what are their names? Do you know their names?
That doesn't matter up there to them.
Well, no,
You and me
What
from
I'm
the community, it matters for Kevin Feige. But when it comes to
right,
when
but
they
what
all
I'm
sit at
saying
the big
is,
table and they make decisions,
but there's a reason why we know Kevin Feige's name, because of the decisions he makes and
Yeah.
how powerful he is, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, DC was in a funk. They were a mess already, right?
DC needed Rock. They needed Black Adam.
They
to be a
needed The
success.
Rock, right? Exactly. And they
MCU does not need The Rock.
No, exactly. And
Yeah.
I think going into that meeting with Feige and The Rock, it's kind of like, hey, because we know what happens when Kevin Feige meets with people. It's, hey, yeah, sure, we'd love to have you in the MCU if something works. But
Does
if
he
something
go
doesn't
in there
work,
wanting Robert Downey Jr. money though, and they laugh at him?
I don't think you can laugh at him. He's huge.
They're not going to give him Robert Downey Jr. money.
They probably won't give him Robert Downey Jr. money at first, because Robert Downey Jr. didn't get Robert Downey Jr. money at first.
Yeah,
right?
but if he's Apocalypse or something like that, he's either
It's a
one-off
big
or a one
paycheck.
or two. He is. There's too much going
I mean,
on.
I wouldn't want Apocalypse to be just like a villain of one.
You
Avengers
don't, but you
movie
don't
and
want
be done.
Galactus to be a one-off. You don't want Doom to be a one-off. We don't want Null to be a one-off. There's only
Right,
so
right.
many that are going to carry over.
Well, Null's weird because it's like
Yeah,
starting
I
on
know.
the Sony.
All right.
But
Let us know what you
I
think.
actually think this is way off topic, but I actually think Galactus should not be a big bad. He should be villains in some movies, and he should be a constant threat looming. But I don't actually think he should get his own movie.
Okay.
But anyways,
let us know what you guys think. And
he could, but yeah,
I don't think he needs to be there.
the
but
situation has to be right.
It would make headlines.
Yeah, does
if
he
did.
need to? Right, it would make headlines. It would draw a crowd. The movie would make money. Does he need to be in the MCU? No. Like, by all means, the MCU does not need The Rock.
Let's do some house cleaning real quick. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Wherever you're watching, whether that be on audio platforms, Spotify, Apple, whether it be on video platforms like YouTube, not really platforms, but YouTube. And of course, you can catch clips and snippets from the podcast and funny moments on TikTok and Instagram. I have an ask for you guys really quick. Not only do we always ask you guys to comment and get involved with us, we'll read some of the comments later on in the show, but we are closing in on 1,000 subscribers on the Multiverse YouTube channel. So that is milestone number 1, and we would love for you guys to be part of that. So if you like the video version, or if you listen to on Spotify and you want to bounce back and forth, we would truly, truly appreciate it. The link is in the description.
Please.
So you guys can go find us everywhere on the internet. Just search the Multiverse Podcast. House cleaning is done. Joker is terrible. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Joker
The Joker 2 is terrible.
The first one's fantastic.
I haven't seen it, but the reviews are coming in and they are not good. Have you watched it? Have you pre-screened it? Have you seen it? No, me
No,
either.
I have watched a fair amount of reviews on it.
I'm not excited to go watch it for two reasons. One, I'm not a fan of musicals. There are some good
Mm,
musicals out there, but for
sure.
the most part, they don't hold my attention. And I'm
Right.
still pretty butthurt that the first one was so good and they made the second one a musical.
I
I
don't
don't
understand the
because
thought
like maybe because
process.
Lady Gaga was in it and they
So
knew they had
what?
a
You have
musical.
someone who can sing. Who cares? Like she can act on her own. She doesn't have to sing and everything she does.
I don't know.
I don't understand the thought process either. And based off of what I saw, the musical sucked. Like the musical components of it were bad. The score was good, but that is not the musicals. And I've
Mhm.
heard several reviewers actually say like the score is good, but I want to be specific. The musical numbers were bad. The score was good.
Didn't somebody
So,
say they broke into music like 22 times in the
oh my
movie?
gosh, did they really? That's too
Yeah.
much.
The
See,
two
I'm not
guys
a,
that tell theories,
my buddies, just a nobodies. Yeah.
yeah, they went in and they like counted like how many jaw dropping moments was, how many times they broke into music, how, blah blah blah, and I think it was 22. And if that's I don't know, I'm not excited to go watch it. We'll
Yeah,
see, we'll see.
I'm wondering if I wait. I don't
Yeah,
ever do
it
that.
may be
But
one I
do I
wait for.
wait? Because I'm the kind of the same way. Like it's really hit and miss for me for musicals. Like I like The Greatest Showman. I like
Yeah,
Wonka,
love
right?
those.
Didn't like Sweeney Todd, even though that movie's
But
100
The
years
Greatest
old now.
Showman was built to be a musical.
It was. And
And I
so
know we're
here's
talking without watching the movie. We could be completely wrong.
totally, but here's kind of my biggest issue is like kind of like you said, like Joker was such a great movie.
It
And
was.
it was unexpectedly great,
Yeah.
right? It was like out of nowhere, just super, super good. But at the end of the movie, and this isn't really spoilers because if you've seen the trailer, then you know. But at the end of the movie, there's like this unknown. Like, was it real? Was it not real? Was it in his head? We know he's in Arkham, but like they immediately take that away in this movie because the whole entire movie is about him on trial.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, but then you have it where he's kind of like in prison the whole time. He's meeting Harley, and then it's just like all of this singing. I almost feel like it's just like is the first movie is almost completely ignored almost. It's like except for the events at the end that cause him to go into prison and go to
Right.
court, it's like it's really kind of not like the first one. And I don't know. What's interesting is people say that like actually Joaquin and Lady Gaga do a really great job with what they're given.
With what they're
The
given.
story and the direction's not there. And that's why I keep going back to like why was it a musical? Like
Yeah. I don't
that
know.
was
Well,
such a weird move.
I'll be the first one to say I don't determine whether I watch something by reviewers. I mean, and I'll tell everybody that
Sure.
always go
Same
watch it
here.
yourself, make your own. But they are coming in and they're not great. But you know what's coming in and it is great. You finally watched it. We could talk about it. The Penguin, Oz.
Heck yeah.
Ozzy Oz,
Sheesh.
man.
Dude,
Not
oh
only
my
Oz,
gosh.
Sophia, Vic.
Sophia. I love her. Yeah, she's
Woo!
awesome.
I think
Yeah.
she's like going down that Scarecrow Joker like path. Like you push her far enough, and she's gonna
Right.
go off the rails. That's
Yeah.
what's gonna happen in my mind. So, Penguin episode 2 came out. I
Did you
watched
watch
it.
it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You've watched them both. Wes, have you watched them?
I watched them both. Yep.
So
Amazing.
Yeah.
when you have a really good episode 1, the expectations go through the roof, and sometimes that second episode falls flat. A lot of
Right.
times
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it did not fall
Especially if
flat.
it slows down.
It did not fall flat.
No,
All
not
it
at
did was
all.
reinvigorate her character and storyline. Didn't give us
Yeah.
a lot of Vic. I know. I mean, we got a little bit of Vic, and he's still learning what he needs to do and not to do. I think he's going to have
Right.
his moment, time to shine later. But this was the Sophia episode. I mean, and then you got Oz, man. Come on, dude, almost gets stabbed. Spoiler alert: almost gets stabbed, and he's like, "Hold on, go look at this." And then he
Right.
puts
Right.
the.
Right.
Did you not think he was gonna put the knife in other dude's pocket?
Yeah.
Oh,
the
for sure. I
underbosses,
totally
yeah.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude with the dude in the photos that's sleeping with
Yeah,
that
the
was sleeping with
underboss,
his
yeah.
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally.
By the way,
Yeah,
that guy, I don't know who he is. He's a really good actor. He
Oh,
was
he's been in a bunch
the
of stuff, dude. Yeah.
he
he's
was
in a lot of
really
stuff.
good in the Kevin Spacey, the political one,
House of Cards, yeah.
House of Cards. He
Cards.
was fantastic.
Phenomenal
yeah.
in that.
Yeah. But that was it was a genuine shock because he even grabs him and he's like, it was you, wasn't it? Like, and
know.
so it's like it's like, oh, they're setting it up like it is. It's like, nope, not him.
And
Which
Oz is doing
almost
it all
is
for his
like-
mom.
Right. And it's like,
you
but
proud.
that one specific moment right there, I'm like, that's actually pretty genius because obviously he knows it's not in his pocket. He put it in the other guy's pocket on purpose. It's almost a little suspicious, I would think, if Oz was like, it was you, and then it ends up being him, right? It's kind of like,
It would have
no,
been
he
two on
set
the
me
nose.
up.
It would have been two
Right,
on the
two
nose.
on the nose. Exactly. So it's
Mhm.
actually like, wow, that's actually
Really smart.
genius.
Yeah.
Right. And then like the component for his mom, like it is really sweet.
He's
It's
doing it
like
for his mom, man.
it humanizes him in a really great way.
But
that
then
makes
he
you
goes
root
and
for him.
stabs a dude in the chest and says,
He's like,
"Ah,
all right.
y'all got to make
And he
sacrifices, man.
keeps
They've got,
stabbing, bro.
I know. I am hooked.
Yeah.
I'm hooked. It's not very often where a new show comes out where I'm on the spot to watch it the second it drops, and I'm
Yeah.
there. I am there.
I have a question for you guys.
Yep.
This may be a little far out. It's a theory that I was, or not even a theory, a thought that I had. Do you think Vic is actually secretly working for Sophia?
No,
You don't
No.
think so?
no.
You think he was genuinely just a kid trying to
I
steal
think
some
he's a
rims to
kid that
survive?
is going to grow into his own, and by the time we get through season 1, I think he's going to be a badass.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A part of me thought maybe, someone was following him or something. I don't know. If they were following him, they probably would have stopped him from killing him. But part of me thinks that like maybe it was planned a little bit, but probably not. It's just a thought that I had real quick in my head. But it's,
I mean,
it's
it's a cool conspiracy, but I don't think so. I don't think it's that deep.
Yeah. I don't think so too. It's just a question.
He could be. I
maybe
mean, he may be a DC villain that we haven't figured out yet.
Dude,
Maybe.
Victor Freeze. I said it before. Victor Freeze.
I didn't.
Right,
I
he
didn't think about
said that last time, and
Yeah.
and as I watched it, because I didn't watch it the last time we
I
spoke
like
about
that.
it, I was wondering. I was like, how could he become
Victor Freeze. That's great, Wes.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that one. All right, let's stick with DC. Bane and Deathstroke movie at DC Studios. I know nothing about this.
Call
Is this-
Joe. Call
is
Joe
it-
now.
Is it legit? Real?
No, yeah,
it's happening, yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
totally.
it's a
And
Bane.
it-
Are these separate movies or are
no,
buddy
it's gonna be
copy?
one. It's gonna be one movie. Well, here's the thing: is we know it's real, but we don't know if there's gonna be more than just them. We know the two of them, but we don't know if it's gonna be
Which
more.
universe is
So
it in?
it'll be in the DCU.
The real DCU. Yeah.
So the current theory
Not
is
the
that
elsewhere or
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
it's called?
Nope.
the current theory is that it's actually like all they announced was it's Deathstroke and Bane. So what people
Right.
are thinking is like, oh, this is going to be tied into the Brave and the Bold. These are going to be the
Right.
villains in the Brave and the Bold. Damien was, if you guys know the story, like it'll make sense if that's the case.
That's exciting. I mean, I love Deathstroke, and I don't know. It's going to be hard to top Tom Hardy's Bane.
Tom Hardy's Bane.
Who do you
I'm-
get for that? Or does Tom Hardy come back?
That would be pretty. That would actually be really cool.
I mean, bro,
Do you think he
Deathstroke-
would though? No, for
Nah.
Bane.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
he's,
Bane. Who
he's
knows?
done with Venom. He comes back to Bane. I don't know.
I
We'll see.
I wonder if he's. I mean, it was such an iconic character. Do you risk it and come back for it? You know what I mean?
Probably not.
Probably
Probably
not,
not.
right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's exciting
But-
though.
They need to bring back either Manu Bennett for Deathstroke or Joe.
Yeah.
Mangolino.
Joe.
Or, yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Manganiello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Manganiello,
I think that dude has had such a cool trajectory in his career and also his transformation physically. Like, because I just recently rewatched How I Met Your Mother, and he's in there and he's not ripped, not jacked. He's actually kind of overweight. And then I'm like, this is the same guy that like Magic Mike and like all
What are
this
they?
stuff.
What are they
now
called? Method actors? The ones that like
become
they
the character, never get
lose
out
all
of
the weight,
character.
become the character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy Pascal describes Nicolas Cage live action Spider-Man Noir as a broken down, busted Spider-Man. I like that.
Yeah. This could be really, really good or just suck so bad. I
Suck so
only
bad.
think it's gonna be one of the two.
Yeah.
And I think most people think it's gonna suck so bad, but I don't know, man. I think it's got potential if done right, because like you just said, like that sounds really good to me.
This is Sony though, right?
And I believe it's on Amazon. It was like sold at some point in time. Wes, can you check on that for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, because something happened. Maybe it wasn't Sony recently like lost it with Amazon. They're not doing some project. Oh, that might have been a different one, but yeah, there's something going on there, but like it's not even like real Sony. It's Sony and Amazon, but like
MGM Plus
so
and
like
Amazon Prime Video.
So it is Amazon Prime Video. Okay, yeah. So I'm just kind of like,
we'll see.
I think signs.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting it to be great, but it does have the potential.
Us three will digest it.
If it's
and
Prime
then we'll come
Video
talk about
quality
it.
control, bro.
For sure.
Like I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Prime Video has been kind of clutching up with their quality.
They spend a lot of money.
Yeah,
they spend a lot of money. They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Yeah.
All right. Professor X returning in Secret Wars. My time to shine. Hello, says it. I think this is kind of a no-brainer, personally. I mean, you're gonna get as many of them as you can in there, right?
Oh, for sure. But I think this is actually very specific. I don't think this is kind of like a random variant showing up. I think Deadpool and Wolverine has showed us that the X-Men exist in that universe, right? That was very clear from that movie.
Talking about 616?
No, 10,005.
10,005. Okay.
The one that Deadpool came from, the one that eventually goes on to be the Logan one.
Right.
But in the current time where Deadpool and Wolverine are at right now, the X-Men are all alive with the exception of Jean Grey and
so it's going to be that variant of Professor X.
I think it's that Professor X.
Do you think there's any X-Men in 616 at all in the background? Are they gonna pull that up and say, "Oh yeah, they've been operating in the background," or no?
I think they like fuse a universe with the 616 after Secret Wars when they restore it, and they're like, "Hey, X-Men are in your universe now."
Okay, because I mean, the initial thought with the Fantastic Four was it was going to be 616, and then it was going to be back then, but then they were just operating in the background through all the crap that happened, and people are like, "Well, how did they not get involved?" So now they're coming from another universe.
It would kind of be, you'd almost have to like Lion King 1.5 it to at some point in time in the movies, like show what they were doing during all of these events, because it's kind of like if you're the Fantastic Four and you didn't get snapped, where were you
exactly
in the final bat? You know, like same with the Professor. Like if Professor X has all of his X-Men as a freaking
how
team,
are you not helping?
Where is he at?
Right? Battle of New York when all those aliens are raining
right, exactly.
Down. How are you not involved?
Where are you? Right, you're right there. Like
I think we can both agree he's going to be there in some form or fashion. Like you said, it's going to be a specific variant. DC's new dynamic duo story of Robin's Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. CGI animation plus puppetry, live action real time performance. What in the world?
Dude.
It just
what? Whenever you add puppetry into something, I go back to what is that movie? America, where he's like America.
Team America.
Team America. Yeah.
Which was pretty epic.
That's what I think of. Somehow my TikTok algorithm brought that up the other day, and it was the funniest S scenes. And it was that scene out of there.
It's so stupid. Oh my gosh.
Like, oh my gosh.
What pops up for me a lot is like somebody there's like a bald eagle walking and somebody edits arms on him and it's the America and he like pulls out as they're going over everything. They're like McDonald's and like he just pulls out like a big man. Like that's funny. But here when I first heard this
doesn't excite me. I'm sorry, guys.
So when I first heard this, it was funny because I was actually like into the reviews of like Joker Filet of Dieu, and I thought with Filet of Dieu, I'm like, this is an example of where you try to be too creative and it's bad.
That's what I just by reading this caption. Or this
Wes seems excited though.
I think if you look at the animation style, I think this is DC's attempt at like an Into the Spider-Verse. Just because like
with puppets,
so if you actually look at the animation style, like if you look at their reel here, I'm gonna link it to you guys,
but they're puppets, Wes.
Yeah, they're puppets, but it's a mix between puppetry, live action, and CGI.
So it's Pinocchio does DC.
So go to like 2 minutes and 58 seconds in that video.
Swaybox Studio.
Yep, on the reel, and just look at that, like that animation right there. That's got potential.
That's
2 minutes.
Not puppetry though.
To the right, that's puppetry.
It is?
Yeah,
Oh.
but it's like a mix between the two.
But it's not real puppetry, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's animated puppetry.
But you ask, here's the question: why? Why?
That's
Why
always
do that?
my question. Like, why not just?
Why?
Well, so okay, I can counter argue, even though I'm not really for this. I can counter argue. You can't do live action Into the Spider-Verse stuff. Like, there's some stuff in there that you can't do, and it really does make it feel like comic booky, right? And I would say that's kind of at the heart of it.
But what made it so special was it did its own thing.
That's fair. I mean,
Yeah,
like
but
the origin
The statement
story
of they're trying to go down the vein of of the Spider-Verse, that's not going to hit like it did because it did its own
we've never
thing.
seen the trailer yet. You know,
And
like
again, you know what? That didn't make any sense because if they did puppetry, that would definitely be doing their own thing too.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
but, I mean-
it's a unique take on it. James Gunn seems pretty excited, so he
We'll see.
doesn't really miss.
Guess what'll happen? Us three
I
will
mean,
digest it.
Right. James Gunn hasn't missed because he's, to the general public, he's done 3 things, right? He's obviously done more. But so it's kind of just like,
Scooby-Doo, bro.
when you do a whole universe.
What's he done? Guardians, Peace.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
Screenplay.
Oh.
That's the GOAT right there.
Yeah. But when you now are in charge of a universe that's going to pump out like 10 movies, right? It's hard to hit them all. But
Yeah, I mean,
I actually have faith in him. But this sounds, I'm just gonna be honest, just sounds weird to me.
I mean, at
we'll
first
see. I'll give it a
glance, like,
chance.
yeah.
I'll give it a chance.
It sounds
But it
stupid.
sounds
to me.
weird to me.
I'm sending Ashley confirmation that the DoorDash that I ordered for her and Grady for dinner is on the way.
And remember, this guy
Yeah,
said
yeah.
what he said last podcast.
I know.
I fought for DoorDash and he didn't.
I know.
True.
All right. It's time for hit or miss. Let's go.
It is time for hit or miss. Get your signs out. Let's get it going.
I get to pull out my sign that is not red.
Yeah, your orange sign.
Mine's red. Look at that redness.
Let's see how my lighting is today. Nope.
Nope.
Yep, that
mine.
is definitely
Not at all.
orange.
Get out of here.
So stupid.
Okay,
There's
it's gonna be a fun
orange.
one, guys. We got a
The
mix
red
of-
on my multiverse hoodie is red. It matches the red. How come that doesn't?
the surface. It's like plastic, right?
Because yes. It's all the reflection of your lights.
Yep.
But I mean the reflection
All
of my lights are
Perfect.
Welcome to Hit or Miss, everybody. This is where Wes rapid fires us questions, and we have to say if it's a hit or if it's a miss.
Let's get it going, guys. Okay, here we go. We have hit or miss. Agatha all along. 3, 2, 1, send it.
Huge hit. I can't believe I'm
Huge
saying
hit.
this. I can't believe I'm saying this. I am absolutely. I'm in it. I am in it. Spoiler. Have you watched it all? Yeah, you've watched it. You watched it before us. Spoiler alert for people. Old lady better not be dead. All she wanted to do was go to a party. I'm super sad about that. I think she's going to come back. They need a green witch, even though she wasn't a witch. I really like the build up to Wiccan getting revealed later on.
The
I love the
sigil and
fact
stuff.
that Agatha may have sacrificed her kid for the Darkhold. That's wild. I'm in it.
So Marvel already came out and was like, yeah, so it was hard decision killing her off, but we did it. They could be lying, but
My daughter Lainey, she's 14. She watches it with me and Ashley. She loves that hocus pocus vibe, scary, spooky, and literally 30 seconds. But what was her name? What was the old lady's name? Sweet old lady,
Mrs. Hart.
Mrs. Hart. 30 seconds before she died, Lainey goes, "They had better not kill her. I will sue them." And then
I will sue them. I will sue them.
Yeah.
I think it's a hit. I was just actually really quite surprised how
My
behind
opinion's
it Jimmy
changed.
was.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is my opinion has changed because I have the screeners and I've actually watched each episode 1 through 4 now. That's all I've seen a few times now. And as I go more into it, as I actually do my breakdowns on it, I'm like, this is actually pretty good.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I had
enjoying
a
it.
very negative mindset before it came out because I told you I watched a lot of the red carpet interviews and I felt like it was about to be in another agenda pushing series. And I really don't feel that way.
I don't feel that way. And I actually
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
Teen, his character is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's fun.
Really fun. And I think it started off slow. I'm just going to be honest. I think the first episode was just a complete waste of time. We know it's fake the entire time. It kind of pissed me off because I'm just kind of it's a cool concept, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
And then I was like, maybe I'm looking too deep into it. Maybe I should just enjoy it. But after that, I'm like, you know what? I like the musicals. in it. I like the songs in it because I think they're like really fitting with like the spookiness and everything. Like, you know, we're getting to the spooky season now. And yeah, I'm like, you know what I actually do? I like this. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, totally.
2 episodes. All right.
Okay, so I'll add it to the watch list. Next up, guys, hit or miss. Rings of Power.
This is tough because I feel okay. I feel like by
the way, sorry for the
I said
listeners,
hit.
I said miss.
My green's green. By the time we get to the end of season 2, I think it'll be a green for you too, Warren.
Have you seen it?
Rings of Power?
Yeah.
No.
Do you have screen? Okay.
No, I just
so here's something I came to realize.
I don't have screeners for anything. Call of Duty.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, here's something that I came to realize watching The Penguin. I was like, and I actually thought about this. I was like, Rings of Power to me is slow. I'm like, but The Penguin's kind of slow. I'm like, why is it different? Because in The Penguin, I'm always feeling tension. I'm like, what is going to happen? Rings of Power, I'm just kind of like, dude, something needs to happen.
But let me argue that point. You're right in a lot of it. Like when it's the dwarves and others or whatever, it doesn't feel tension. When Sauron is on screen, that guy does a really good job of creating tension and trickery. I think he is the show. Like every time he's in a scene or it's going on, I'm invested and I'm watching. But I mean, he is obviously the plot point, the focal point of the entire thing.
I'll say the
it's
same
fun
thing
watching him manipulate.
Oh, for sure. And I said this last time, there are like sprinkles of greatness in it. Yeah. And I just wish it was more of that. And to me, I'm just sitting there. Right. Yeah. To me, I'm just sitting there like, somebody use the rings, like more
do
than
something.
Yeah, I'm just like the whole entire time. I'm like, it's called the Rings of Power. Use the rings. Besides finding light through mountains and stuff. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm rooting for the show. I hope it changes, but right now I do find myself kind of bored. The last episode was a step up, I will say.
So the Joker,
definitely a step up.
The Joker, you as soon as it drops, you're trying to watch it. Rings of Power, you're going to watch it when you have time. Fair?
Well, that's exactly what I did. We talked last time. I hadn't seen the last couple, so the other day I had some time. I was like, let's watch them.
There you go.
Yeah, it's heat. I agree. I think the first half of Rings of Power was slow, but it's definitely heating up. Same thing that happened with the first season. Like, dude, like, can they just get the pacing? They've got all this time.
That's the thing. Just
fix
get
the pacing, dude. Like, come on now. Okay, next up, guys, we have hit or miss. Starfield.
Oh, huge! It was a huge miss.
What is Starfield?
It was supposed to be
game? Todd Howard, God Howard.
Didn't he say this was going to be some? What did he say? What did he compare it to? It was gonna be the Red Dead Redemption of space. What was it?
Oh, yeah, I've heard. I heard the name. I don't know too much about it.
It's a miss. Nobody's talking about it.
That's what I was gonna say. It has to be a miss if I'm not hearing about it.
It's not generational. It's not. Maybe down the road they'll get it where people are excited. No, it's a miss.
Shattered Space released 2 days ago.
It's a miss.
Yeah, I thought it was solid.
See, I've never heard of Shattered Space.
Yeah, it's a DLC that came out.
To me, if I haven't heard about it, because I am in like the gaming space too, like then it's probably
a miss.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I think people want Elder Scrolls, and that's what Todd's working on. So Todd, give us Elder Scrolls, please, as soon as possible.
It's like Rings of Power. Just use the rings.
Please cook. Next up, guys, we have hit or miss Pokemon cards.
I mean, it's a hit.
It
spans generations. My brother, I mean, I can go talk to my brother, and he was collecting these when he was like a teenager or like young adult. So I mean, it spans generations. I was into it. My brother was into it. My sons have been into it.
It is my whole childhood. Almost.
It's
such a huge part of my childhood. I remember going to Books a Million on Saturdays because they had meetups where you could trade people and do battle and do all this. Like, dude, total.
Now the real question was the Pokemon Undercover Pikachu or whatever movie a hit or miss.
Detective I liked
Pikachu.
It.
I liked it.
I thought Ryan Reynolds was great.
Yeah. All right.
Now Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh. Real quick sidebar.
Pokemon.
What game is
better? I did love Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh,
I didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh.
So I thought the Yu-Gi-Oh card game was better than the Pokemon card game.
I didn't play it,
but
I kind of just collected, to be honest. And I collected Yu-Gi-Oh cards as well, like collecting all of Exodus pieces and stuff like that. Dude, it was totally fun. But overall, I think Pokemon was just better.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
show was amazing too, though. The Yu-Gi-Oh show was amazing too.
Oh, dude,
like,
love the show. Yeah, no, I think
Yeah, it
I
was
think the show and the
fantastic.
game is better for Yu-Gi-Oh, but the cards and the characters like top notch on.
No, I the Pokemon show as well. Like, it was literally the cards, the games, and the show were like my life, dude. Until
That's
I was
fair.
like 15. Like,
That's fair.
I have look, you can see Pikachu, right? Meow. You see him, little tiny guy.
Okay. Okay. Next up, guys, we have hit or miss the Resident Evil franchise. We're talking the entire franchise.
Oh my
the
gosh.
whole thing.
I don't
So,
even know that.
A lot of the movies have been a miss.
Exactly.
A lot of the games have been a hit. Some of the games have been a miss, and 1 or 2 of the movies was decent. Dang.
It's a tough one.
I've never played a Resident Evil game because
Really?
that's not my cup of
Oh,
tea.
dude.
Not my
I
cup of
remember
tea.
playing the original one back on the, what was it, PlayStation 1, and you had to open each door, and it was really slow and methodical. But at that time, it was creepy. It was scary. It was like, and back then you had 2 bullets to your name. Like, if you ran out of bullets or green herbs, you were done. And if you didn't find the ink reel to save on the typewriter, you were cooked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say overall it's a hit.
You know what? I was thinking about this not too long ago. I'm gonna say it's a miss because I was thinking about the movies and the games.
Some of the movies are really bad.
Some of them are really bad, but I'm also confused because, like, I've seen like footage of Resident Evil games and I'm like, this isn't what I thought Resident Evil was. And then
Yeah.
I'll see some footage of another game. I'm like, this is what I thought Resident Evil was.
Resident Evil
same thing with
remakes
the movies.
have been a hit.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
the remakes are incredible. Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yeah, great stuff.
I'm gonna
Amazing.
say miss because I'm just confused about what is Resident Evil.
Yeah.
in all
The
honesty,
movies
but
do
I
a
don't.
terrible job at it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm confused, but that's just me. I don't get really into that franchise as it is, so I'm not the right person to
Yeah,
say.
I think
but
if they
miss
did
for
like
me.
a 1-to-1 story remake of like one of the games,
Right.
then it
Yeah,
would be
something like
better.
that.
You
It
know.
would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, guys, we have hit or miss the Twilight series.
Never watched it.
You've never watched
Based-
a single Twilight movie?
No, so I'm not gonna give an opinion either way because that would be rude.
I mean, there's so much cheese to it, but I'm gonna say it's a hit. Like, and not all of them are the best, but as a franchise, it was a massive success.
It was
Like,
huge. I mean, there was a
yeah,
time.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it was
it's
big.
yeah.
Never
I mean,
watched it.
You could ask people to this day, Team Edward or Jacob, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Heck yeah. Okay. Next up, guys, we have hit or miss Power World. Did you guys play it?
No, I
did.
didn't play it,
I
but
did.
I'm gonna call it a hit because they successfully were able to monetize Pokemon's IP, and so far they've gotten
And
away
now
with
they're
it.
getting.
I know. They have a lawsuit, but up until this point, they haven't paid any damages. So it's a hit with future asterisks on what could end up being a terrible miss.
It was a hit. I played it. It's a lot of fun. I don't like the fact that you can literally watch them die and shoot them with machine guns, and their bodies don't go away.
Wow.
Their bodies stay there, and you can, like, if you're on a mountain, you can push it off the mountain and watch it roll all the way down.
Is it?
So I'm not
is
a
it-
big fan
is
of
it-
that.
Is it touted as a kids game?
So it's not really a kid's game. No, it's
It's not really a
the
kid.
game
Okay.
is literally
Alright.
Ark with like Pokemon type creatures.
Yeah,
Have you ever
okay.
played Ark?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally
Yeah,
that
like
with like Pokemon.
right. You can capture them, and then you can use them. You can put them in your base and make them build things for you and stuff like that.
Make them.
That's one thing.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, that's what people would say. They're like, "Wow, they're slaves." It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of really weird, dark undertones to the game if you go too deep into it.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
But
it's
it
creepy.
was fun.
Never played it.
But you know what it made me think? I wish this was Pokemon. I wish
Yeah.
Pokemon made
That's
this.
probably what they
Right?
wanted you to think.
Well,
fair.
Nintendo needs to jump on it because holy crap.
That.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or
You
is
play
it
Grounded?
Nintendo? Whoever it is, needs to jump on it because holy crap, like a Pokemon game like that would be dope. Basically,
Oh,
a
yeah.
Pokemon MMO, like which I like thinking about now. I'm surprised hasn't come yet. They need that. We need that.
Sure. Yeah. There's fan games on like browsers and stuff that you can do that. But okay, next up, guys, we have hit or miss Squid Games.
It was a hit.
Jeez, it was awesome, and
Yeah,
I'm not really into
thought it
that
was
type
good.
of stuff, but I was like hooked when I was watching it. I was like,
Yeah, I
"Oh,
thought it was good.
This is dope. Yeah.
For sure.
Sweet. Okay, next
That's
up,
how you know
guys.
something's good when me and Jimmy just go, yep.
Yeah,
yep,
we don't
yep.
have anything
good.
to
New
argue.
Move
season
on.
coming out,
Move
you
on.
know? New
Easy.
season 2.
Yeah, season 2 is coming out. I'm curious. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Can they strike that that lightning in a bottle again? We'll see.
Right. Can I do it again? Yeah.
Yep. Next up, guys, hit or miss McDonald's McRib.
Oh man,
It's been
if
a
you
while
knew
since I
what
had
it
a
was
McRib.
made out of, you
Oh,
would say
no.
a miss. But if you're
Oh,
not
no.
worried about that and you're just talking about the hit when you get one when it comes out, it's an absolute hit. The McRib. So this I ran McDonald's for almost 7 years.
I'm scared now.
The McRib sauce. It would, so you had these trays, right? You put the hamburger patties and the McRib patties, you put them in these little like yellow trays, and they slide into the heater and they stay warm. You put a timer, 30 minutes. Well, the McRib sauce, you couldn't get it out. It would like stick to the top of the heater in the tray and you'd have to scrape it out. It was that thick. It was different. It was like the best thing I can think of is like Venom's symbiote goo.
Oh gosh, no.
But eating a McRib with that little bit of sliced onion and a pickle, woo, hit.
What's it made out of?
I don't mechanically separated different types of meats.
So it's just
Yeah.
goop. It's like hot.
So
dogs.
basically,
It's like
it's
a
a bunch
hot
of
dog.
separated meat, and then it's put into like a paste tube, and then they shoot it. So that McRib, it looks like a rib. It's not a rib. It's just put
Cool.
into a
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Like
But
a
it's-
casing that like
No, it's not in a casing at all. It's like a cookie. What's the word?
a mold. Yeah. It's
a
like
mold.
it's like a mold. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like a sausage has a casing over it or something. No,
No.
it's just-
No. I meant like
yeah.
just
You
like
just-
a cutout almost.
Yeah,
of
they
it. Yeah.
splat the mechanically separated meat that's turned into paste.
Oh no.
But when it's
Ooh.
done and you eat it, it's so good. It's a hit. It's a hit.
I'm so glad I haven't eaten one in a long
You've never had a
time.
McRib?
No, I haven't eaten one in a long time.
Okay, so
I've
next
had
time they
one.
come out, we're each going to buy one right before we get on and we're going to eat it live.
Not after what you just told me.
All right, what's next?
Okay, last one, guys. We have hit or miss Netflix originals, and then tell me what your favorite one is.
I mean, I would say
watched
hit.
enough to know. Yeah, hit.
I-
I mean, I guess hit. Red something.
Red Notice,
Ryan Reynolds.
Gray Man. Was Gray Man
Oh, yeah.
Netflix?
Stranger
Was that-
Things.
Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, I don't
House
know
of
why I'm just thinking
Cards.
movies.
Wasn't Ozark Netflix?
Was
Or
it?
no?
Maybe.
I'm going hit. I'm going
Ozark
hit.
was huge. Ozark was
Yeah.
great. I don't remember if it was Netflix or not.
I don't
though.
think it was Netflix.
You know what
Well,
Netflix is
definitely
really
August.
good at with their originals is their documentaries. I've
gosh.
still got to go watch the
Yeah.
Vince McMahon one.
It's really
Yeah,
good. I
yeah.
watched it. It's
Okay.
Miss
I may try to
McMahon
watch
is insane.
it. How long is it? How long
It's
is it?
I don't know how many. I literally just turned it on and there's multiple episodes. I think it's like maybe
Okay.
5. I don't know. I can't remember.
Did Netflix do the Jordan one or was that ESPN?
What was that? I think
The
it was
big
on, I mean, it
one.
was on
Max?
Netflix.
Was it?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was on Netflix. I
I don't
remember seeing
remember.
I'm
it.
gonna say a hit. I'm gonna say that the stuff they put out is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
All right.
The Last Dance. Yeah, that was Netflix. Yeah.
All right, theory segment. First, I got to ask you, Warren, because you may not even be able to contribute to this. Did you watch the Blair Witch Project when it came out?
Yeah, like when it came, like forever.
Yeah, the kids
ago.
or the teenagers or young adults in the woods with the cam and
No,
just
yeah,
all
and
over.
it was like the first movie that was
It was a-
shot like
Yeah, it was, and
yeah.
it was put out like it was real, and the sheriff
They
stations
ma-
in
they-
that county went along with it.
Right.
There was a website with all like the
website,
evidence.
right? Yeah, yeah.
the whole
No, I
nine yards.
remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a theory that the witch never existed. Josh and Mike were the ones behind all of it. They faked their own deaths and then they killed Heather. What do you think about that? Do you think there was really a witch? They wanted there to be a witch? Or do you think it was a Scream plot twist and Josh and Mike were the bad guys?
I mean, like
It's hard to think back. It's been like 20 something years.
that's what I like. It's been such a long time, but like my gut reaction was I wanted there to be a witch.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Absolutely. And I
I'm
was
gonna say
creeped
no,
out. I was creeped out. I remember
I
watching.
was young.
Yeah.
And like I watched a lot of those stupid movies because like my uncle or something would watch them and I'd be like in the living room.
I feel like I was a teenager when I
When
watched it.
you're yeah,
Yeah,
a
it was
little older
creepy
than
though.
me, so
It
yeah.
was creepy. If anybody has
creepy.
Blair Witch experience, let us know what you think about that theory. And the other one that we had was a fan theory that suggests Breaking Bad is a prequel to The Walking Dead. What in the hell? Fans point to the presence of blue meth in both shows and speculate that Merle Dixon in The Walking Dead is actually Jesse Pinkman due to their similar appearance and Merle's prior drug use. They even theorize that the zombie outbreak in The Walking Dead could be a side effect of Walter White's unique blue meth formula.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Whoa.
That's something.
You can't hang your hat on Merle's prior drug use because, I mean, there's characters that have backstories of drug use and everything, so that one doesn't really hold water to me. They do kind of look alike.
I'll tell you what, though,
Dixon
that'd be pretty
Pinkman.
crazy if they did that.
It would be cool if Walter White's blue
That would
meth
be
caused the
pretty
zombie out,
crazy.
but we know that's not the case. It was they told us how it was caused, and it wasn't Walter White's meth.
Now, I do have another one for you guys.
That would be cool.
The reason that there's so many zombies like in The Walking Dead is because there's no more room left in the afterlife.
Oh,
Jesus. Man, The Walking Dead is the Duracell battery that never dies.
it really is.
There's the Daryl Dixons in France. Rick and Michonne are back together. Negan and Maggie are in New York. What's his name still doing Fear of the Walking Dead? I saw a brand new one the other night that's happening. It's wild. They just keep going.
It's a crazy franchise, man. It's huge. I mean, you know, people love it.
In the money.
That theory about there's no room left in the afterlife is, as a religious man myself, I'm like, no.
So I kind of like the fan theory of Breaking Bad being connected. That would be really cool.
That I think if
awesome.
if they ever revealed that was
awesome.
true, you'd be like,
yeah. We'd all go watch Breaking Bad and look for clues.
Yeah, like
that'd be cool. All right, couple random topics before we get into top 5. Daniel Day-Lewis is coming out of retirement.
Oh, Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
I mean, he's like a staple actor, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like been around for a pretty long time, huge actor. You know, I meet a lot of people that say they'll never retire because they just enjoy doing what they do. Maybe that's what that is.
Until you're 90.
Till you're 90.
You know who's not going to retire? Shaq, and apparently he's coming to Fortnite. I mean, we've got some gummies. We've got some gummies that just came out on our kitchen table that Lainey and Grady bought, and they're freaking Shaq gummies. That dude is the ultimate.
You know how rich Shaq is?
He is the ultimate marketeer.
Oh.
Dude. He has the shoe line. You remember when he did the Shaq shoes?
Delis. You know, he owns like a ton of Schlotsky's Delis and like Subways.
He also owns Papa John's.
Right. Yeah.
I remember a story that, and I could be off on this, but something about when he did his Shaq shoes, instead of going the route like, making them high label, he wanted them in Walmart and he wanted them to be affordable. So like kids could get cool basketball sneakers.
Them, right? Yeah.
Everything. I've never met him. Don't know him. But everything I hear and see that he does, like becoming an honorary cop, or the times he went and played like basketball with the kids out of nowhere, I get good vibes.
Oh, he seems like a legit dude. Like, and I grew up in Orlando where he lived. And what's really funny is like my church has a temple in Orlando, and there's this famous story of them saying like they got a call from Shaq, and like the temple is huge, like it's a huge temple, and it's on like, you know, a big piece of property, and he's like, hey, I want to buy it, how much? And they're just like, no, like we can't sell this. And he's like, no, you don't understand, like money's not a problem, how much? And they're like, no, like this is our religious monument dedicated to God, and they're like, it's not for sale. It's like, no, you don't understand, money's not a problem.
Shaq.
How much money do you want?
Shaq. That's funny.
Yeah.
But he's coming to Fortnite, so there you go.
I'm down for it.
I wonder what his hitbox will be.
Well, you know what's funny is he at least he used to, when I lived in Orlando, he drove this huge custom truck, huge, like ginormous. And so like every time you'd basically like go to a mall or something or whatever, like I'd always look for the truck, because one time I saw it and he was there in the mall, and I was like, this is dope.
That was probably during his Shaq Diesel times.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, he has many nicknames. I feel like Shaq is a guy that got a lot of money and he's had fun living with it.
He's totally had so much fun, it looks like. Yeah.
All right, man, it is time. It is time for our top 5s. These can go really good or really bad once we hit the putting them on TikTok and Instagram. So this is a segment where we do a top 5 topic, and me and Warren count it down from 5, each one of us. And sometimes they go good, and sometimes people just don't really agree with us, but that's okay. So we're going to start off with our top 5 Angelina Jolie movies. Starting at number 5, I'll go first. I thought she did great in Eternals. I liked her in Eternals.
You put Eternals in there.
Okay, so it's not about Eternals, the movie. It's about Angelina Jolie
Her
in a
performance?
movie. Her role, I thought she did good. I enjoyed it.
All right. Top 5. Okay.
Do you remember I told you I didn't think Eternals was that bad of a movie?
I didn't either. No, you and I both expressed that. Totally.
So,
but there's a lot of Angelina Jolie. Anyways, I'm not giving crap.
Don't give them ammunition at number 5 on me. Go.
I don't need to. You're going to get it no matter
Okay, Mr. Top 5 NBA players of all time.
I stand by it.
Yeah, I bet you do. All right, what's at number 5?
I've seen the comments. I stand by it.
They keep coming. They keep coming.
5, challenging.
Never heard of it.
Her son gets kidnapped, and to stop the publicity and bad press of it all, the cops lie and say her son was found and put a fake kid there. So it's this big kids. Yeah, but her acting is superb.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll have to put that on my watch list. Number 4 for me is Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I had Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Brad Pitt's top 5. It would be wrong if I didn't put it on there because she was equal to him in every way. Just loved it. Probably could have been a little higher, but I've got some that I like more.
I'm interested. Yeah, I'm curious to see who you put. Well, I think you have this one. Number 4 for me, Gone in 60 Seconds. Because we've talked about how awesome that movie is. And it's just an awesome movie. And I love it. And she's awesome, All
right, we're back, guys. Sorry I had a DoorDash issue. Driver dropped off one piece of the food, but not the other. So we're good to go now. Sorry if you got that cut. It doesn't make sense, but we're back. Top 5 Angelina Jolie. Warren's number 4 was Gone in 60 Seconds. We're at number 3 for me, Pushing 10.
Such a
good movie.
I almost put it on there.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, we'll throw that in the honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Also, guys, that's what Warren does when he steals a good topic for me that he forgot. He puts it in his honorable mentions. All right, what's your number 3?
Totes McGoats, Wanted.
Wanted?
Yeah, the bullet bending movie.
That's in my honorable mentions.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
it really is. I'll screenshot and show you the list. All right, number 2.
I thought the movie that came out, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was
it was really cool. Yeah, I put it in my honorables. Number 2 for me is Gone in 60 Seconds. Classic. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, number 2 for me is Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could have put mine higher too. Number 1 for me, and this is probably a hot take for a lot of people, but it's rewatchable to me, and I really, really like it because the first time I watched it, I was like, is she bad? Is she not bad? Is she undercover? Is she not? Salt. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely love it.
That's interesting because I've seen that movie.
And it's got Sabretooth in it. The one from
Shriver.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Like
yeah.
Him.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. Number 1?
The first time you watch it, you really are questioning all the way through. And then when she finally, spoiler alert on a 20-year-old movie, she is undercover. You're like, bad. It was true.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, wow, she just killed her husband, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's, I guess, a little generic, but Tomb Raider.
Oh, no.
I thought it was, I watched that again a year ago and I was like, I still really like this movie. But to me, she iconicized, is that, I don't think it's a word, but she really did the character. She was
Tomb Raider. I give you
that. She is Laura Croft.
Yeah, I just didn't I don't think those ever hit right. The Tom Holland one with Uncharted, it was boring.
I'm talking about her, right?
I know. Yeah, I know.
To me, that's what that is, right? It's just I think she did the game was already extremely popular, but I think she kind of immortalized that character to the point to where when they came out with the new one, I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah.
All right. Honorable mentions, Hackers for me. It hasn't aged well. Old school.
I've seen that one. Actually.
Hackers? That was one of her first movies ever. She was a computer hacker. And Maleficent. She played that role really well.
I think that's another character that you could definitely say yes, very popular.
She embodied
because of Disney, but right, exactly. Yeah. All
right,
totally.
Next, top 5. This is a good one. Top 5 fast food breakfast items. You go first.
Well, we just heard Jimmy worked at McDonald's, so I don't know what we're getting from him. But number 5,
Mm-hmm.
bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit from McDonald's.
Okay, that's classic.
I love
you
those
can't go
things.
wrong with that.
It's
You
classic.
take a McDonald's biscuit over an Egg McMuffin?
Yeah. I
Look,
got to
me
ask
too.
you something, though.
Mhm.
They used to have like a sausage or bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. I freaking miss that
It's
thing,
back.
man.
We have it here. We have that one in the
No
steak
way.
bagel.
I don't have
Yeah.
it here.
Yeah.
Oh,
The steak
gosh.
bagels too. I mean, that steak it hits hard. All right, number 5 for
Gosh.
me is French toast sticks from Burger King.
It's a literal honorable mention of mine.
Sure it
It
is, Lord.
almost made it. No, it really like
Mhm.
it almost made it. But yeah, those is dipping them like they're good. Yeah, I'll give
They're
that one to
good.
you for sure. So 4 for me, just kind of playing off what I just talked about. Sausage, egg, and cheese bagel from Dunkin' Donuts because
Okay.
I love it, but my McDonald's does not have that.
Okay. All right, I'll give you
Yeah.
that. The one at McDonald's is definitely better if you had
It's the
that
best.
option.
No, dude, it's like I don't know
Yeah.
what they do, but they have like some weird sauce
It's
on
bagel
it.
sauce.
Bagels,
an
dude,
actual
it's
bagel sauce.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So make that one / the McDonald's one. I don't really have it, but I guess it's still out there somewhere. So
Yeah, it is.
there.
Number 4 for me is the Sonic breakfast burrito. You can go the big one or like the super. I don't remember what it is, or just the regular one. It's so every place has their own take on a breakfast burrito, and obviously,
Sure.
we're talking fast food, McDonald's are crap. I don't like them at all. I don't remember who else I've
Yeah,
tried, but the Sonic one is consistently decent. I like it.
Okay. I'll give you that one. Number 3 for me is the chicken minis from Chick-fil-A. Those
All
things
right.
are awesome.
All right. Number 3 for me is a straight up McDonald's sausage biscuit. McDonald's biscuits, they're frozen and then they go in a Q oven. They are amazing. They are the best frozen biscuits in the
I
world.
love
And then you have
yeah.
the biscuit with the butter and then the saltiness of the sausage. Woo! So
and then
good.
hash browns on the
Don't
side.
even need you don't even need to put grape jelly or strawberry jelly.
Oh,
or
I
anything
don't
on it.
ever. I just
You
eat them.
just
Yeah. No,
eat it how it
totally.
is. All right.
Yeah. So this might kind of play a little bit off your burrito, but Whataburger has taquitos that they sell from
Okay.
11 p.m. to 11 a.m. Oh my gosh, they're so freaking good.
So we don't have a
man.
Whataburger. I've had it in traveling, but I've never
yeah.
like experienced a bunch of it.
Their taquitos are freaking bomb.
Okay. All right.
Love them.
Number 2 for me is the honey butter chicken biscuit from Wendy's.
I've never had that.
Just everything about that. Honey butter
Really?
chicken biscuit.
Interesting.
It's good. You
Never
should
had
try
that.
it.
I'll have to try
Mhm.
it. Okay, I'll try it. Well, my number 1, it's funny because you talked about this, but my number 1 is a chicken burrito from Chick-fil-A. They have to be the best freaking things. Dude, there's chicken nuggets inside. It's
No,
amazing.
I haven't had that.
Dude, you have to. They are so freaking and they're big. That's the
Okay.
thing is they're big. They're not like a taquito or they're
Right.
not like the burritos at McDonald's. They're super small because you can get like
Yeah.
2 for like $1 or some
You
crap.
do. Yeah.
It's big and
Yeah.
they're freaking good.
All right. Number 1 for me is
Yeah.
the same restaurant. Chicken minis. Nothing hits better than a chicken mini.
You've mentioned the chicken minis before, so I knew it had to be on your list.
Hands down,
yeah.
dude. I could eat 20 of those.
Just the
Wes,
three for me, yeah.
what's your favorite
Bro.
fast food
Okay.
breakfast item?
Did Warren, did you,
Well,
did you
it's
give your
obviously
number
not
one?
Chick-fil-A because he's never been to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, no.
Warren, did you give your number 1?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
the
did.
chicken burrito from
Okay.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay, dudes. McGriddle. You guys forgot that. Okay.
No, we didn't. I don't
No,
like it.
the
I don't-
chicken.
You
I
forgot
don't
that.
The
like
bacon, egg, and
having
cheese
my
biscuit
bun
is better.
Next
infused
up.
with maple syrup. I don't
Oh,
like
dude,
it.
gas. The viewers will agree.
It's too
Next up,
syrupy.
Supreme Croissant, Jack in the Box. Come on, boys. You
Don't
forgot that.
have one, so I haven't
Yeah,
experienced
I don't.
it.
Okay.
I don't have a
Well,
Jack in the
the
Box.
viewers will know. Next up, you got the breakfast burrito from Jack in the Box. But you do more than that, okay? You get the breakfast burrito, and then you get an egg roll on the side.
Okay. Now I have had the
Egg roll?
Jack in the Box mini tacos, and those were really good.
The
That's
Jack in
not
the Box
breakfast.
egg rolls are the literal best egg roll you will ever have.
Okay.
I'm not even
Egg
joking.
roll?
Whenever you go around, find a Jack in the Box, get a 3-pack of egg rolls. That's your meal for the day.
Okay.
Interesting.
And you will live
Okay,
life.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
Life
GG.
knowledge from Wes. There you
Yep.
go. All right. Honorable mention biscuits and gravy if you get them from somewhere good. I don't know if that's a thing where you guys are, but
yeah.
biscuits and gravy
Totally.
is
There's a mom and
badass.
pop
Also-
shop here, but that's not fast food, so I didn't put it.
Yeah,
The Hardee's like biscuits with they're like they got
Hardee's.
the
Hardee's biscuits
the-
are good.
They've
It's
got
like
good
the-
stuff.
what is
Hardee's
the-
got good stuff.
it's like the I don't even know what it is. It's like the icing, you know, the biscuits with icing.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
clutch.
Hardee's
As a
is
kid,
good.
bro. Whew,
Hardee's has some good stuff for sure.
be slamming those things down.
All right. One more top 5. This one's interesting.
This one
Top-
was actually hard.
Yeah, it was. Top 5 Star Wars dumbest moments.
It was hard to narrow it down to 5.
I'll start at number 5. The Emperor's Secret Sith Armada. Come on. It was... I mean, first of all, how many ships did they portray were hiding there? It was hundreds, maybe thousands.
Yeah.
So,
like
if you think of the logistics of it, first of all, how long were they there? How did you feed all these stormtroopers that were clones? How I mean, come on. If you have 1,000 Star Destroyers, that means there's millions of...
How did you feed them?
Yeah.
Oh,
It didn't make sense at all. When I saw it, I was like, come on.
Yeah.
No, and then at the very end, when the rebels showed up at the very end and they all came out of hyperspace, there was literally like 10,000 ships on that screen. It looked a little... They were trying to go too big. That's number 5 for me.
Hold on. I have a lot on here for the honorable mentions. I didn't actually number them, but let me count 1, 2. So I think this is 5. This is from Ahsoka. And this is Sabine Wren just straight up giving the Arcana star map to Balin. And just like, here. Yeah, yes, Thrawn can return. Totally. I just want to see Ezra. Like,
she was super selfish.
Really? You just made Thrawn return. You realize that, right?
That
like in
dumb.
Everything that we went through before. Like, okay,
I agree.
fine. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah.
That one was dumb. All right, number 4 for me. It's dumb, creepy, all of it put together. Padme grooming a kid for an entire Star Wars. I mean, come on.
I mean, she really groomed the kid, though. Did she?
All right.
All right, yeah, but I'll give it to you. 4. Finn trying to tell Rey something while they were sinking in the sand.
Didn't he try to tell her twice? Didn't he try to tell her twice?
Yeah, and it's just...
Or was he trying to tell Poe something once?
I don't remember.
Wasn't he set up to tell one of them that he loved him?
Well, that's what some people were like, oh, that's what he was going to say to Rey. And then Finn was going to tell Rey that he was Force sensitive. I'm like, either way,
we don't know.
Whatever. Like, one, there was no payoff to it whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
Like, Finn's story just kind of went nowhere. But 2, like, in that moment, in that scene, you're really like, if it was, hey, I'm Force sensitive, like, hey, you're about to die, Rey, I'm Force sensitive.
That's stupid.
Like, that's what you were gonna say. Like, yeah.
I feel like they were playing with love interest and they were trying to like figure stuff out, and they
couldn't figure it out. Right.
I agree. All right, number 3 for me is the buildup of Captain Phasma and the absolute letdown of Captain Phasma, because when we first saw her on screen, I was like, holy moly, that is a bad A. That is somebody that's just going to be a problem through the entire trilogy. That's Boba Fett on steroids.
Right. Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
At all. It was dumb. All right.
There's a lot of disappointments in Star Wars, but my number 3 is I'm just going to say like the entirety or the whole concept or just him being there, Jar Jar Binks. I'm just going to throw that in there.
You got to put something like when he stepped in doo-doo or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Just
Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Jar Jar. Okay. I like that. Number 2 for me is the forced romance of Rose and Finn. It was awkward. It was dumb. The kiss they had, it made absolutely no sense.
I didn't even think about that. I could definitely have that on my honorable mentions as well, because you're right. No, totally.
You're on 2.
I think real quick on that, it's just like, I think they just were like, they had no idea what
they
to
didn't
do
know what to do.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like, did you not get the vibe that they were at one point trying to hook up Finn and Poe too?
I didn't. No.
I did.
But
I did.
Yeah.
I got the vibe on Finn and Rey. I got the vibe on Finn and Poe. I didn't get the vibe with Rose and Finn, and that's the other girl in the last one that rode donkeys with him on the ship or the horses or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Finn.
A lot of really, and the actor was not happy about it. But number 2 for me, the line, somehow Palpatine returned.
Like, I hated that. Oh my god. Do we even believe
that? That's all that was too. Like, no follow-up whatsoever. Like,
Yeah, that angers me too.
Like, there's so much things you could do with like clones and everything, which they kind of alluded to, but it's just kind of like, really, that's what you got. That's the
Yeah.
big thing. Somehow, Palpatine returned. I'd be like, well, how the hell did he return?
Another thing with these 1,000 Star Destroyers and these 10 million Stormtroopers, what do they do for recreation? They're just sitting there hiding for years.
They don't practice shooting.
No, they don't. All right, my number one dumbest Star Wars moment is Obi and Anakin having super flash speed one time in the Phantom Menace
Yeah.
to get away from the destroyer droids. Do you remember when they flashed off screen?
I remember.
And they never did it again.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
I don't think it's as dumb as Kylo Ren killing Han Solo, which is my number one.
Oh my God, I walked out of that theater so angry, bro.
But like, cause just like
you knew it was about to happen.
And
you're like, no,
really? Exactly, disrespect. Like for one, you just slapped me in the face. You just slapped me in the face. Hard.
Chewbacca.
Just the whole thing. And it's
I bet you Harrison loved that though.
He probably did.
To be done with it?
I bet you he loved to getting killed like that. He's like, just piss him off in the worst way possible. Let them seethe for years.
Yeah.
I'm going to Marvel. Seething.
Yeah, I'm going to Marvel to be Red Hulk.
I'm going to be Thunderbolt Run. Yeah.
That was actually good. I think we both did really good on that. Let us know if you're watching this, wherever you can comment. Give us your top 5 dumbest moments. Whip a couple out real quick.
I mean, this is like a whole thing, but like the scene in episode 9 where they use the blade of like to find a location to the last wayfinder, and it's like you have to hold it up to like the destroyed Death Star. Like I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like I've got more. I'll go easy. I do love Star Wars, but there are a lot of dumb moments in it.
There was some dumb stuff. All right. It is time for agree or disagree. You and me.
Oh, wait.
It's just you and me, buddy.
Okay.
You can get your properly red thumb and green if you want. We can do that. Like agree or disagree.
Sure. No, yeah. I'm ready.
All right. I will start. Warren. Disney Star Wars isn't bad. We are just ungrateful fans.
You stupid. You know what I feel? I feel like Deadpool in the beginning, like Marvel's so stupid. Like that's what I feel like. I just kind of said no.
For all you audio listeners, he put up the disagree.
I put up. Sorry, we don't normally use these things for this segment, but yeah, disagree. I had an order, but the order doesn't really matter. So I'll go to this one. Star Wars should scrap everything, reevaluate, and come up with an entirely new plan for the future of Star Wars. Not saying they have to I'm not saying get rid of everything in the past. I'm just saying whatever they have planned right now, stop, drop, shut them down. Just
Is that kind of what's happening in a way?
I hope.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Okay. Yeah.
They should. I've told you I don't mind Rey in a future story with Rey involved. I like Rey's character. I think she did what she could, but we don't need to go for a 1, 2, 3.
We don't need another trilogy.
We don't need a fourth trilogy that does the exact same thing. Yeah, I agree with you totally.
Yeah. Cool.
Jedi mind tricks are actually kind of creepy. And if you think about it, the Sith don't do mind tricks. The Sith manipulate, but the Jedi actually get in your head, and it's kind of creepy.
I'll stick to just the question. You're just telling me, you're just like it. You're asking me if it's creepy or not? Yeah,
it would be creepy. Like me being able to control your mind.
Warren. Sure. Yeah, it's like if I wanted to make you believe my NBA playlist.
We're gonna go watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 together.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
That's only for the weak-minded, though.
That's true. All right, you're up, Warren.
Back to my number 1. Okay. This is we've kind of had this conversation a little bit, Terminator-esque, iRobot-esque type of things, but I'm realizing it now because I ordered the new iPhone, but I have the new Samsung Galaxy S24 as well. The AI is incredible on it. And I think now at some point in time, we're going to get to a point to where we're not going to really be able to operate without AI.
Oh, 100% agree. And it's not, it's right around the corner.
You think it's closer than
100%.
Yeah.
It is moving faster than most people realize. And is that a good thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's like, it's hard to operate without the internet now. Even
And
just on your
they're
phone when
forcing
you're out.
AI
Yep.
on you. We talked about this on
They are.
Facebook or
Yeah.
on Instagram. It
Mhm.
immediately on your search bars, it hits you
Yeah.
with AI. If you go post something like on Facebook or other, now when you go to the post, AI has already given a description of, well, there's a battle in the comments about whether or not this is the best or this. It's
Yep.
wild. It is
It's
getting.
crazy. I don't have the new phone yet. It's ordered the new iPhone, but I will say this Samsung is freaking amazing, and the AI is actually nutty.
You
Like,
drinking
it's
the
crazy.
AI Kool-Aid. All right. The MCU should be more like Game of Thrones, Red Wedding style. When you're gone, you're gone. Absolutely. No matter what. Nobody is off limits at any given point.
No, I disagree. I like the multiverse concept and variants being able to
Wes,
show
what
up.
do you think?
I am a firm believer that Endgame shouldn't have happened and Infinity Saga should have ended with the end of Infinity War. Fully agree. I love the poetic endings of things, and whenever you try to shoehorn people back in, it doesn't. It's not as effective.
What was your reaction the first time you watched the Red Wedding episode in Game of Thrones?
Insanity. Loved it, every second of it.
It was there's two peak moments for me that stick with me, and it was Red Wedding for Game of Thrones, and it was the Negan episode in Walking Dead when he took them out with the bat. And the reason was because you're like, there's no way. That's off limits. They're not going to do that. Red Wedding, there's no way you can knock out 7 primary actors in one episode. Ha! That's not going to happen. And then it happens.
Well, I will agree with you that character death shouldn't be off the limits, but I like the multiverse concept that they can show up again as a variant.
Yeah. All right. You're up.
Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, I can see that. I see it both
Okay,
ways.
we'll go in on that. Marvel Studios should do a full reset after Secret Wars. No soft reboot. No one survives. Like, not saying they have to die, but no more remaining actors or characters left over. Recast
100%
Spider-Man. You think so? I'm not necessarily saying that that's what I think, but
yeah, let's do it.
As long as we don't get as many origin stories with the reset, like I love a good origin story, but having a ton of them.
If it's already a character that we know and we know we've been taught the origin stories throughout the MCU, I don't feel like we need them like
It's
that.
like Batman. You know, we don't need another
Well,
Batman
we don't
origin
need,
story.
Right. Well, and Kevin Feige said that, same with Spider-Man. They didn't do an origin story.
Exactly.
He's like, you guys know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that could work.
Okay.
The
Agreed,
cookie of an Oreo is better than the cream inside an Oreo.
Disagree.
Really?
I mean, if you dip it in milk and it's soaked, then I could agree. So I'll go halfsies on you.
Okay.
Oreos are awful. I hate Oreos.
Wes,
Hate
you're
them.
fired. It was
Dislike
fun, man.
them.
You made it to episode 8. Yeah,
we'll never see what Wes looks like.
Yeah,
so.
you didn't get to make it to 21. It's not going to be a habit for you.
I liked them as a kid, but just
what
something
the hell
about
do you
the
eat?
What turns you off about
The
it?
icing in the middle, dude. Just
Okay,
too
so
much.
so if it was just a cookie,
I can eat just the cookie.
you would agree with me.
So he agrees with Jimmy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think,
Okay.
but the Oreo itself, the entire piece. No.
It's amazing what you find out about your friends when you launch a podcast.
Yep.
For real, right?
All right.
Well, my next one is it's kind of hard to say because everyone doesn't know what the new DCU is going to be like. But after watching the Penguin and of course the Batman, I think they should put those things and connect them to the DCU. I think,
dude,
they're fantastic.
you're
and-
on my level today.
Disagree.
Absolutely 100%. What?
Disagree.
I know.
I
Hold
think
on. Stop.
I don't think they should put the Joker in
I know
there.
what
I'm
he's going to
specifically
argue.
talking about.
I know what he's going to say. I agree with you, Warren. What Wes is going to say is you need to have the more grounded, visceral, like Batman and Penguin, and then you have a different version that is the more cinematic DC, like we had with the Justice League and stuff like that. I knew it was.
Yep.
But you heard the rumors that Robert.
Why can't you
Pattinson's
put them both
Batman-
together? Why can't you put them both together?
I think elsewhere,
Robert Pattinson's Batman might be in the DCU. That's the recent rumor.
Well, the rumor before was he was going to stick to the everywhere else, what is it?
Yeah, the elsewhere
universe,
Yeah.
world, whatever. Wes, I know where you're coming from. I knew that's what you were thinking. I think there's a magic sauce to do them both together.
Yeah,
Me
so
too. Me too.
what they need to do is they just need to have the Elsewhere and just do team ups in that universe. You know, just have
True.
have multiple team ups. Like just use the characters, just make good stories.
And then at the
call it a
very
day.
end, whatever their culmination is, the Elsewhere and the mainline one come together.
We'll see. Okay, hear me out. Okay, DC, it's really hype like what they're doing now, but like DC for me has always been like, bro, the storytelling that the animated shows can provide has always been top tier. Like you look at DC animated versus pretty much everything outside of like the Nolan verse, that's clutch. Like that's some of the best writing, best animation.
I'm really curious who's going to play Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy in the new DCU. I'm super.
I mean,
curious.
it's gotta be Margot. I really think that they'll bring her back.
I mean, they kept John Cena, right? I mean,
Yeah.
We'll see.
Peacemaker.
All right, my last one. The Bruce Banner, Natasha Romanoff love interest was a waste of time for you and me, the fans.
Sure. And you know why I say
There
sure?
was no
I'm like,
payoff.
right. And there wasn't any payoff. And I'm sitting here going like, I don't really care. And I think that actually is a testament to it was kind of a waste of time.
It was a waste of time. Do you think they were dabbling with it? There was a different storyline they were thinking about going with? Or?
Yeah, totally. I totally think they were like maybe planning on it and then plans kind of changed and they're like, all right, well, we can't do that anymore. So, that happens. It is what it is. I don't think it was detrimental to the overall story of what we got in the Infinity Saga. But for my last one, this is kind of funny. And I'm curious to what you and Wes are going to say. I think they should get new writers and directors for Rings of Power for season 3 and maybe wrap it up with season 3 or maybe a season 4, but definitely don't go to like 6 seasons.
I definitely don't fully disagree with you. I think there could definitely be better direction to make it more paced, like we've all talked about. Mm-hmm. And I'm not opposed to wrapping things up sooner than later either. Wes, I know you have an opinion.
To me, yeah, because to me, I'm like, gosh, you forged the rings already, and you're making me wait so long to see them like being used in any really cool way. Like, if this thing's 9 seasons, I don't think I make it.
Oh no,
yeah, no, I think they're only going to do 5. I think 5 is like
that's
their max.
Still pretty long.
I could say they could do
3, 4, and 5 are just Sauron heating up and just going ham on everybody.
I mean, if the groundwork that they're laying does provide some epic action and some good storytelling,
can we all agree season 3 has to be more of a cinematic epic?
Oh, dude, they gotta spend so much money, bro. Like just doing just live action shots, epic battles, like get all.
We're
the
also building up
America,
Gandalf. I mean, there's going to be some epicness there.
Can they even name him Gandalf?
Barely been in it though.
Yeah, I don't even think they can use his name because of the Tolkien estate. I think we're like,
seriously?
Yeah, the Tolkien estate has literally made this show what it is. Like, I don't think they're allowed to use anybody.
They're using everybody else's names.
Galadriel, but they're not saying Saruman's name because that wizard is most likely Saruman.
The dark wizard.
Yeah.
But they're saying all the like key elves and all those names are the same.
Yeah, but those were in the actual story that they have rights to.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He has to be Gandalf. Can they just call him like G-Unit or something?
G-Unit. Yeah, no, I think that they should just stay the course, just do the best job that they can do. I firmly believe that this, I mean, it's their fault for buying the rights to what the story that they were given, but it's also the Tolkien state that's so like, they don't want to.
They preserve what they feel.
Exactly, and they should, in all honesty.
Like
honestly, Star Wars had that kind of a state. Maybe we wouldn't have debacles that we have too.
Yeah,
who knows?
But I mean, their creator is alive and well. I know. Tolkien has been dead for how long?
Guys, we have broken a record. This is the fastest
one. That's what. Okay.
Episode so far. So.
Yep.
In closing, one more time, guys, there is a link below that you can go find every platform for the Multiverse Podcast: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of them, Spotify, wherever you want to digest the Multiverse Podcast. Thank you. No.
We got one
comments.
must go.
Where?
We do.
One must
comments.
Go. Scroll down.
I'm looking
We
at
have-
the wrong paper. Psych,
Yeah, you
we're
are.
not done.
We're not done.
I
was
thought
about to
we have
say.
one must go, overrated, underrated.
Holy crap, this
some
is going to end up
comments.
being the longest.
I
Oh
just
my
thought
gosh.
Jimmy had to be somewhere, so I didn't
I
say.
don't. I just like, dang, we breezed
I
through
was
The
this.
show must go on with one
I'm
must
not
go.
All
gonna-
right, I'm not going to plug at the end. There's our plug. Guys,
Yeah, plug.
you can follow us anywhere. Help us get to 1,000 subs on YouTube.
We
One
love
must
you
go.
all.
Here we go.
Here we go, guys. One must go. This is the segment where they
I
have to
suck.
pick and decide one must go. Here we go. God of War 2018, The Last of Us, Bloodborne, or Spider-Man PS4.
Bloodborne
Well,
all day.
it's not. I'm gonna say Bloodborne because I've never played any but Spider-Man, and that's not going. So
God of War
Bloodborne.
2018 is fantastic. Last of Us is classic.
The God of
Spider-Man
Wars I
PS4
have
is
played
not going
are
anywhere.
fantastic.
Yeah,
So
and I'm
yeah.
not saying Bloodborne's a bad game, but it's gone for me. Easy.
sure,
Yeah,
it's gone because I never heard of it.
There's going to be a lot of interesting comments. Okay, next up we have The Office, How I Met Your Mother, Parks and Recreation, or 2.5 Men.
I'm getting so much crap for this. The Office is gone.
What?
I don't like The Office.
He's keeping.
I don't
Parks
think
and Rec.
I really don't think it's as great as everybody thinks it is.
So Wes got fired and now Warren's gone. It's just me,
I
guys.
don't
Solo
get
podcast.
it.
I'll get double
Yes,
fired. The
there's some
Office is gone.
crazy. There's some
What?
crazy. Yeah, I don't get it. Parks and Rec is freaking fantastic. How I Met Your Mother. I literally just finished it last week, rewatching it again. Fantastic. And 2.5 Men. Are you
Two and
freaking
a Half
kidding
Men
me?
was
Charlie
really
Sheen
funny.
before Ashton Kutcher.
Men,
Right?
men,
2.5
men,
Men.
men, men.
Hilarious. Freaking hilarious.
Don't
The
worry.
Office just
Don't-
isn't as funny as these. other
Don't
ones.
worry, viewers. I got you guys. How I Met Your Mother is gone.
Oh, you son of a whore.
You
You know what?
cannot
You
get
know
rid
what?
of
You
The
are not.
Office.
You are not legend. Wait for it. Dairy. You are
Dairy.
not
You
legendary.
cannot get rid of The Office. Next.
Oh, I just
Next
did.
up.
So did Wes.
Yep, it's gone. Okay, chicken, beef, seafood, or pork.
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 Yeah,
totally.
Pork.
Get rid of pork.
Wes would get. rid
So
of
I'm not a
seafood,
big
I think,
fan of
right?
pork chops, but Ashley makes them really good.
You know what?
I like bacon. I'm cool with that, but I could live without it. I
Oh,
can't.
Bacon, yeah.
I can't live with I can't live without all the different versions of chicken. I definitely can't
same
live
with
without my
beef and
burgers
seafood.
and steak. and
Yeah, there's so
seafood,
much
same
more
thing. Yeah,
variety
pork.
to everything else. Yeah,
Pork
pork's gone.
for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm getting rid of seafood.
I knew
I
Wes
love
was getting
seafood
rid
as
of
well.
seafood, and
I love seafood as well, but like pork,
But what
Yeah, no.
pork? It's pork chops and bacon. What else is there?
that's all you need, my dude.
I was
pork
gonna say
chops
Wes
and
thinks that's
bacon?
all you need.
Okay.
Hello?
All
Come
right.
on now, bro.
All right. All right.
Okay, next up we have Xbox, PlayStation, PC, or Nintendo Switch.
See you later, PC.
Woo.
So this is kind of funny because
Actually,
I don't really
no, I
care.
take that back. I take that back. Nintendo Switch.
I'm getting rid of the Xbox
You are
because PlayStation has like things like
Exclusives?
Spider-Man. Yeah, like exclusives like Spider-Man.
but
and
it's an
then I-
Xbox.
I've played only PC and the Switch, to be fair,
And
for
guess what?
Pokemon and Zelda forever.
Xbox is Windows and Windows is on PC. Most of the games you have on Xbox, you can play on your PC. You can get rid of
There
Xbox.
you go.
That's
Buy
the only
Xbox,
reason.
easy
And listen,
enough.
I love Xbox. Shout out to them guys, you know.
Yeah,
Keep sending me stuff, please.
You're not getting any more sponsorships. Nintendo Switch is.
yeah.
That's okay. Nintendo Switch is kind of on my naughty list anyway. That's fine. Okay, next up we have, this is going to be a hard one, I think. I really do think it is. Mario, Sonic, Link, or Crash?
Crash Bandicoot,
Crash.
Yep.
he's gone.
Crash.
Crash Bandicoot's
No,
gone?
First of
really not
all,
hard.
none of us can get rid of Mario. He's
No.
untouchable.
I can't get rid of Link.
Link
was-
is
I
right there
can't
with
get
me
over
too.
that.
That was one
Sonic,
of the-
Sonic is
yeah.
definitely held in high regard.
Sonic's
too.
one of
It's
my
gotta be Crash.
favorites.
I didn't connect
Actually,
to
hold-
Crash.
yeah.
I didn't
No?
connect to Crash.
The
No.
games were fantastic.
They
No,
were
I
fun.
actually really love the games, but like as far as a character and like icon,
I think I
Sonic,
know why.
Mario, and Link.
I think I know
mean,
why. Crash came out when I was a young adult. I connected to the other three because I was a kid. Mario,
Yeah.
Sonic, and Link. I was a kid.
Yeah, but
maybe
whenever you
that's
think
it
of the
for me, too.
PS2, you think of like Crash. So it is
Yeah,
like,
see, I was a young adult. I don't
Yeah.
even think I was focused on it.
it's a tough one, but I'm getting rid of Crash as well. But
Okay, all right.
next up we have, and I think I kind of know which one you guys are going to get rid of, but we have the NFL, NBA, NHL, or MLB.
Okay, I'm going to get rid of the NHL, but I'm going to put an asterisk next to it. I went to my first hockey game ever. Me and Grady went to watch the Chicago Blackhawks in Chicago. Not a fan of any hockey. And I'll tell you right now, that was like
Hockey's the best sport.
that was like you went into this dome of adrenaline.
Hockey's the best
And
sport.
we didn't have any skin in the game, but by God, we were right down there on the glass, like, Get him.
Hockey is the best sport.
So by viewing, I feel like hockey would not be the one to go. But if I just had to pick a sport that I enjoy watching, like on TV, it's going to be hockey.
That's insane. Wes, what do you think I'm getting rid of?
Baseball would be next.
I think you're getting rid of MLB because you'd probably rather play it than watch it, and you're not going to get rid of NBA because you're too knowledgeable about NBA. You're not going to get it. Not going to get it.
Preach, Wes.
I was about to say he can't get rid of NBA
Preach.
because he literally knows nothing about ranking him.
He's not going to get rid of NHL because you play hockey, and then NFL, like, you know.
Football. I love football.
Yeah.
I love football.
I would be NHL than MLB for me.
MLB for me. I can't even tell you the lot. Like, if you ask me, hey, you want to go see MLB game? I'd be like, no.
Okay.
I do not.
Yeah, same.
But I put it above soccer.
Okay.
Football.
Good thing we're not global right now.
Yeah, true. No, I agree.
I stand by everything I say.
MLB is going out the park. Okay, next up we have, this is kind of like a battle of the B words from, you know, the battle of the B words from Game of Thrones. We have Ubisoft, EA, Activision, or Konami. What are you guys getting rid of?
I can't get rid of Activision. It's Call of Duty.
What is Konami?
Konami, they're doing Silent Hill. They did Metal Gear Solid.
I mean, I want to get rid of.
Gone.
I want to get rid of EA.
Nah, NHL games on EA is really good.
I'm gonna go Konami too. I can't get rid of Activision. Ubisoft. I mean, there's the games on there that are in my top 5. EA. I mean, I think back to like Battle or Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, that too. That was amazing. Yeah. No, yeah. Konami's gone.
It's gotta be Konami, and it's not because I don't think they put out bad games. I'm just less familiar with the games.
That's fair. That's all I have for that. We've got overrated, underrated. Let's go. Get your signs out.
I got it. I'm not ready. Oh, I'm almost ready.
He's fallen and he can't get up.
I got it. Let's do this.
Okay, it is time for overrated, underrated. Let's get it. First one is going to be mayonnaise. 3, 2, 1.
I watched a TikTok last night of people at a contest drinking a gallon of mayonnaise as fast as they could, and I just thought, what are the aftershocks going to be? What are the repercussions going to be in about 20 minutes? Mayonnaise is properly rated.
Mayonnaise is properly rated, but that's disgusting.
It has its spot. It knows where it needs to be, I think.
I love it. Okay. Love mayonnaise.
I'm not the kind that's going to dip French fries in it or anything like that, but I'll put it on sandwiches. That's gross.
Well, what I do is I put ketchup right next to the mayonnaise, and I'll dip it and scoot it into another.
That's different.
But I also love
soloing mayonnaise with your French fry.
I would
creating
do that too,
a dip.
in all honesty, I don't care.
Yeah, all right.
I like mayonnaise.
Okay.
Fair. Next up, we have, speaking of dipping in pizza and ranch.
Never do it.
Oh, you stupid. Now I've changed my answer. Now I'm putting overrated or underrated. Jimmy put overrated. I put underrated because of his answer.
I can't tell you one time that I have taken the time to take a piece of my pizza and go find ranch and dip it in ranch.
I'm blocking my mouth because I'm saying things.
Go ahead. Say what you want to.
No, I'm just kidding.
If it's a good pizza, it doesn't need ranch. It's the same as a good steak. If it's a good steak, it doesn't need steak sauce.
But I like pizza and I like ranch, so the two of them together make extra goodness.
All right.
That's fair. Okay, next up we have Dark Souls.
Properly rated. Very hard. Very hard.
Sure,
Jimmy
I've never played the game properly rated.
Diplomatic answers right here. Okay.
I've never played it, so I'll say properly rated.
I wasn't diplomatic with my ranch.
That's true. Next up, we have Metallica.
Oh, properly rated. Hits hard.
Nope. Overrated.
Why?
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking a different group. No, I'm gonna go overrated.
Dude, you're gonna get roasted.
Wait, am I I'm mixing up some of this.
Metallica is fantastic. If you
I'm
Aerosmith.
I think I'm thinking of AC/DC.
Oh, what?
This singer's voice is terrible.
Oh my god.
They have some killer songs. I don't know. I'll say properly rated for Metallica because I'm thinking of AC/DC in my head.
Move on, Wes.
I don't listen to a lot of it.
Okay, next up we have Seinfeld.
It was properly rated. It was funny.
Yeah, it's properly rated.
It was funny.
Yeah, it's definitely funny.
Boring.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah,
like it.
it's not.
It's no fun when we agree.
I was
I didn't like it. I hated
debating
it.
putting overrated. Yeah, I mean it's not as funny as like Friends and stuff to me, but
I think it is. I think it's deeper. It's way deeper than Friends with humor.
I cannot listen to Jerry Seinfeld and just like laugh. I literally can't.
yeah,
I straight up can't.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
He's got boomer humor. I just can't do it.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Next up, we have physical media.
Costanza. It's Costanza for me.
George.
Physical media?
Super
Physical
underrated.
media.
And it's going to be
Like
come a point
talking-
where you can't even get it.
What are you talking about?
Cartridges,
Physical media,
DVDs,
cartridges, discs,
Blu-ray.
Blu-rays, memory cards.
I think it's underrated.
It's
And I
underrated.
think Jimmy's right.
it's
I think there's going to be a
disappeared.
time.
So things like the AI on your Samsung 24. Move on.
I'm
it
glad we're getting
doesn't
rid of like Blu-ray and like
Come up
DVDs,
with movies.
but like cartridges and
I
like
miss
game
it,
cards. I love it.
Do you remember video game manuals?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm
Yeah.
going to
I still have my
here's how-
Kingdom Hearts one
Here's
and my
how
Zelda
old
ones.
I am. Buying Super Mario 3 and taking the manual and like cutting out all the little characters and stuff and taping them to the top of my bunk bed. Just
Nice.
I'm sad now.
So you're just defacing manuals? Is that what you're doing? You're
It's
just
pronounced old, Jimmy.
Sad.
Okay. Counterpoint. Digital media.
I mean, it's also, I think, properly rated. It's or not also because I said underrated for the other one.
It's
It's properly
proper.
rated because it's hard to dislike being able to get something instantly.
It's literally what we're doing right now.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Now I'm bummed. All right.
Okay, well, on a more happy note, or I guess spooky note, Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus is not spooky. It's spooky for Warren because he's a big baby. It's not
It's not even
spooky.
spooky for me.
Okay, it's not even spooky for Warren. It's
Agatha's spookier than.
and
Hocus
Agatha's not
Pocus.
spooky. Properly
What's the
rated.
time?
It has its place in history. It's kind of like
Yeah, I was gonna
Christmas-
say
it's your
classic
Christmas
thing.
classics. You're gonna watch it around Halloween.
I don't, but
Yeah.
I do think it's
I'm
classic.
watching Harry Potter 9 times out of 10.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Straight up. Hocus Pocus,
Harry Potter.
mid. What about Halloween Town? I'll throw one right there. Halloween Town.
I barely
Overrated,
remember
underrated?
that.
Yeah,
I barely remember
Yeah,
it.
it's mid. No one cares. Okay, next up we have Xbox.
Wes is like, no one knows what I look like. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I will
only
burn
brought
this
that-
thing down.
I only brought that up because like there was a debate that I had. There was like, what's better, Hocus Pocus or Halloween Town? I'm like, that's not even on the same like list, bro. Like you got one that's like,
Yeah.
iconic and one that's like you watch because you're forced to.
I'm
I
me,
legit
Callie,
don't
Will, and
remember
Laney
Halloween.
are going to watch Terrorizer 3 when it comes out this weekend.
I don't know
Okay.
what that is.
You would literally not make it through the first 5 minutes.
Well, for all the 10 people going to watch that, happy for you.
All right.
Next up, we have the Xbox 360 controller.
Perfectly rated, arguably the best gaming controller ever invented.
I mean, I didn't have a problem.
Set the
with that.
bar, set the tone, set the
Properly rated?
precedent. Yep.
Sure,
Okay.
properly. I had zero
Yep.
problems with it.
Yep.
You like the DualSense controller nowadays?
I don't mind, but Xbox 360 is just it fits
I
your
actually-
hand perfect.
I think the Xbox 360 controller was the last controller I used.
Dang, you don't play like controller on PC games at all?
Never. It's
No,
always
he's a
always
PC
keyboard and
elite,
mouse.
Keyboard mouse.
W.
That's
Okay.
true.
Well, for some games, like, if you're playing like a sports game or like
All
Elden
my
Ring
friends
on
play
there.
Rocket League with controllers. Nope, I'm mouse and keyboard.
On Rocket League, dude, you're literally giving yourself a disadvantage. Okay, next up we have World of Warcraft.
I'm gonna say it's properly rated. I know it gets hate now, but that's what people like to do is hate on things that have been around for a while. But it was the trendsetter. It literally changed the world. There was one point where there was like 12 to 14 million people playing this game at one time. Properly rated.
I'm gonna give it properly rated. I've tried to get into it a lot. I can't. Granted, I haven't played with like a lot of people, which everyone says you kind of have to do to really understand.
You
how
need to
great
be
it
in a
is.
guild.
Right, but to me, I'm just kind of like, well, that means it's. I can't play it by my
You-
own. Then it's
you-
not that great. But
You don't
it's
have
just-
the time, Warren. You would have to dedicate.
exactly.
a lot
I
of
don't have the time, but it has withstood time.
It has.
which is why I say it is properly rated.
Agreed.
My thing, okay. World of Warcraft is a game that is the whole concept of it is just fetch quests after fetch quest after
And
fetch
I
quest.
don't like
But
that.
that's not what it was.
not.
That's not what made it. That's not what made it special. What made it special was, like Warren said, people coming together and like socializing. That was one of the first big social platforms.
Right, it was one of the
Overrated.
first MMOs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Overrated. World of Warcraft is overrated. I don't like the the raiding that you have to do to be able to progress after the game, like the expansion comes out. No,
I don't know about it now.
I'd rather play Destiny.
I see, and even with
Destiny, what's not overrated? South Park episode, Make Love, Not Warcraft.
That's a good episode. It memed it great. But even with Destiny, like you're constantly like, I don't do any of the in-game activities. I've never done it.
That's a looter shooter.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, that's all.
But once again, that's not what makes it special. It's special when people go and do the raids together, and it's socializing.
But in order to do the raids, you have to do all these fetch quests and get all these items.
You can't just go do them
in these like these freaking
Bro, how many fetch quests did
armors.
you do in The Witcher 3?
There's really not that many fetch quests. I mean, there's some, but but the difference is, you get a game that is a narratively driven experience.
No, we're not turning this into a gaming podcast, Wes.
Versus a game.
We are a Star Wars podcast.
Star Wars first.
Oh my god. Okay, World of Warcraft sucks. Next up, we have not a gaming podcast, but NVIDIA graphics cards.
Oh, yeah, totally. That's what I have.
AMD or are you NVIDIA?
Don't you think it's a little overrated when they hype up each new one and it's super expensive and then all the scalpers and all that stuff? Aren't you tired of that?
I think it's overrated. I think the cards themselves are overrated. I think the tech that they allow is
what
underrated.
I'm talking about.
So we're talking like the NVIDIA DLSS, the frame generation, that's the underrated part, but just them pumping out.
Jimmy has no idea what you're saying. Jimmy,
so frame generation is basically creating fake frames. So like you have a game that runs at 60, you turn on DLSS frame gen, and you get like 120.
Yeah, me and Ashley were talking about frame generation today.
Yeah. The viewers will know, okay? They know. Okay, next up we have, let's take it back a little bit, tabletop games.
So underrated, and it's a lost art.
What do you mean?
Like Risk, Monopoly, tabletop games.
D&D.
You didn't even know what it meant. That's sad.
I'll even give Cards
I
Against
thought
Humanity.
He meant ping pong table tennis.
Jeez.
If you would have said
Warhammer.
board games, I would have known what you were talking about.
That's board games as well. Warhammer.
Yeah.
I'll even throw in Cards Against Humanity.
I wouldn't call that. That's a card game. That's not a tabletop game.
You played on the tabletop, yeah.
True.
I'll say properly rated. Some of them are really fun to play with.
It's underrated. It's a loss. It's becoming a loss. Stupid AI. All right.
I mean, it's really Nintendo with their party games, bro.
Stupid.
They're
Nintendo.
really.
How dare you?
How dare you? But there's party tabletop games on some games on Nintendo Switch. They're pretty good. Okay, next up we have Domino's.
Pizza?
The pizza?
Yep.
So it's fast food pizza, obviously, right? But I'm going to give it the underrated for one specific reason. It has the best crust of any fast food pizza. They brush the garlic. They have the garlic seasoning, and it's the best crust. Other than that, it's nothing special. It's just fast food.
I think it's underrated. They have their cheese sticks are amazing.
Dude,
they're
their
actual
cheese.
Papa John's garlic Parmesan breadsticks.
Wait, hold on. Oh,
yeah. Domino's cheese sticks aren't anything special.
I'm thinking of Papa John's.
Papa John's garlic parm breadsticks.
I'm thinking of Papa John's. I'm gonna switch to properly rated.
Yeah.
But even
I would say Papa John's is underrated.
The crust on Domino's is good.
Well, that's why I say properly rated, not overrated, because I do think they're good. But
that's fair. That's fair. Okay, next up, guys, we have Target.
It's a better
overrated.
It's a better
Overrated.
Walmart.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Walmart's really nice.
No, Target's nicer.
Bro, you tell me you're gonna go to Target over Wally World, bro?
If I had one. We don't have
I think it's overrated.
Dang, dude. We're Wally World enjoyers.
Well,
over here.
Wally World is nostalgic for me. I feel at home there. I mean, I feel safe. I don't know why.
Wait, Target, you think you have an actual Target on your back?
Oh no.
Okay, next one and last one. This is gonna be maybe a hot topic. Tom Brady.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. I don't like Tom Brady, but he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. And did you see what happened with him and Baker Mayfield?
I did. That's why I brought it up.
So Baker Mayfield said,
What
yeah,
happened?
they wanted me to come into Tampa Bay and put some of the fun back in it. Some of the players were not having fun and blah, blah, blah. And
Didn't like playing with
Tom gets on. I think he's casting an actual game. I think he's on national TV. And they ask him about this and his thoughts. And he's like, well, I mean, I thought it was you aren't having fun if you aren't winning. If you're not winning Super Bowls, you're not having fun. He's like, I had a Super Bowl mentality. I had a winning mentality. I went in there and we went to work. I would think not having fun is not having rings.
Not having rings, yeah. Like shit.
I have never really been the biggest fan of Tom Brady, but you cannot deny that he is the
He's
GOAT.
the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
And all I think of is Ted 2. It's like a perfect spiral where he throws Ted.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
All right, we have a couple community questions. They actually be statements. I don't know. We're going to get into them. You guys, anywhere there's a comment section, or you can go to our Discord, which we are hopefully going to relaunch soon. It's there. You can be involved. We're there. It's just not much going on, but you can actually go there and help us.
Which makes it the perfect time.
Perfect time. You can help us shape the shows, is what I'm saying.
Time.
So Joshua Kimball Bluegrass said the fact that both of you say chips and salsa is a miss is wild, and I can't take anything either of you say seriously ever again. Well, Joshua, it is a miss, and I super appreciate the comment. But yeah, we're gonna say a lot of things.
Yeah, dude, his comment is a hit though.
Chips and salsa is a miss. Queso, didn't we agree queso was a hit?
That's the thing is like I'd rather eat queso than chips and salsa. Yeah,
I'd rather eat French onion dip than chips and salsa or salsa.
Me too.
What?
Me too.
Oh
I
my
would. French
God,
onion dip's
Jimmy
amazing,
with the
brah.
French onion dip, dude.
The
all day long.
wild takes at the end.
Yeah. All right, next is that TLC?
TLC 236.
100%.
100% is 5 fingers. Jimmy, we're all looking at you right now.
We established this. I got debunked by I shut up at the end of the bit. I was done.
It's totally 5 fingers.
I was done arguing. I was done arguing when Warren said the actor came out and said it was 5 fingers.
Well, what's really weird is we were looking at the same poster, but I thought you meant there's like another poster that doesn't have any of his hand cut off at all.
There was multiple posters, and some of them had it cut off.
But I think they were made.
No,
I think people actually made posters with AI.
I don't want to talk about it.
Jimmy's better.
And it's AI.
Thanks, TLC 236.
Stupid AI. Nate Johansson 2505. I'm fine with the tower and Thunderbolts being the old Avengers HQ. Just because it was owned by Valentina now doesn't mean it didn't change hands between Homecoming and now. Tony had it for 5 years, 2012 to 17. It is now roughly 2026 in the MCU, maybe later. I don't know the timeline post-Endgame other than No Way Home happens December 2024. There's a good chance. There have been a couple owners since we saw it last. Not to mention, it looks pretty empty in the Thunderbolts trailers, which Warren made note of. Maybe they're currently moving in and out. I don't know. It's just a theory. I actually love everything you said right there. And you're right. We could guess and say that maybe it was Kingpin's tower for a couple years or whatever. And I also like the fact that we reiterate the fact that it looked really empty. So maybe they're moving in. I think they're moving in, if anything.
Maybe, yeah.
But I like that. That was good.
Yeah. I thought there was one more comment talking about my NBA playlist, but
we didn't put it on here because we didn't want to hurt your feelings.
I'm fine. Right here. I got it. Hold on. Cyrax. And Cyrax, you show up, I think, each time. So thank you so much. The Hulk beat the Abomination, which, okay, I agree with you on that. But P.S. Love you, Warren. But your NBA picks are wild. LOL. And you know what? I will say this. I did kind of make the list based on who I like more, but I do believe these players are the GOATs that I put on there.
But the top 5 was the top 5 best NBA players. It wasn't the top 5 players that Warren likes.
Right. And I as I thought about it more, I was like, yeah, I think I fused too much of me liking people in there, but you know, I'm not embarrassed by who I put on there because I love those guys.
I'm embarrassed for him. So
that's fine. Everybody else can be embarrassed for me. Thank you, Cyrax, if that's how you say your name.
I think this is the end. It is now officially not the shortest podcast ever. We were at like an hour.
Not the
20.
longest.
We were at an hour and 20. And I was like, dang, we flew through this thing, but we still had half a show left. That's it.
But we had fun the whole time.
We did. It's one of my best. It's one of the things I look forward to each week. honestly.
Each week. Yeah, for
Just
sure.
being able to
And
chill.
yeah, and thanks to everybody again for, for these comments, for liking the videos, watching them. We super appreciate everything. Now really is a good time to join our community because we will read what you post and it can impact the show, like Jimmy said. So please continue to do so. If you haven't yet, we'd love for you to chime in and subscribe or follow us wherever. We're everywhere, guys. And we're going to be doing this for a long time. So hope to
Peace.
see you along the journey.
We'll see you in episode 9.